Now on Denver 7, an explosion at a group of townhomes in Westminster. We're live at the scene with what we know so far.
Gas prices are a big thing we're watching with the situation in Russia and Ukraine. $5 a gallon is already a reality. The other things that we could start paying more for because of this. And a relatively new procedure is using the cold to help fight certain breast cancers. How the simple outpatient procedure works in less than an hour.
And new signs show a Russian invasion of Ukraine is imminent. Why U.S. officials believe it's about to happen. We start off with breaking news. At least 2 people are suffering minor injuries after an explosion at a group of townhomes in Westminster. The explosion then causing a large fire that appears to have scorched several units. Let's get right over to Denver 7's Bayan Wang, who is live at the scene. Bayan?
Yeah, hey Jessica, it's kind of unbelievable to think that only 2 people were injured here considering the magnitude of this explosion. Those injuries that were sustained are considered minor at this point. We know those individuals were transported to the hospital, but let me step out of the way here so you can see the efforts right now to suppress those flames. Most of the flames have been suppressed, but the hot spots, the heat, still very apparent in the area as you see the white smoke there billowing into the air. If we could go ahead and pull up some video from earlier, you'll kind of get an idea of the moments after this explosion occurred. Neighbors on edge, they heard a giant bang, most of them run out, and they see that the neighbors' units are completely up in flames. They're scared. They go back in, grab pets, get out. A lot of them we spoke to are just wondering, how did something like this happen? And is there a possibility of this happening in their unit? Now, this is just some things we're hearing from neighbors, but we understand that there are some new furnaces being installed in some of these units that we're looking at right now. None of that has been confirmed, and those are the questions we're going to be posing to the authorities as soon as a briefing occurs here, which we are expecting here in the coming moments. As of right now, again, only 2 people sustaining minor injuries, and that is a preliminary investigation, although officials say they think they have everybody accounted for. Now, as we come back live now, it's also important to mention that the individuals in this area are asking their maintenance teams, they're asking their front office, they're asking the management group, is it okay for us to go back in our units? They haven't gotten a response yet, so most of them have been standing outside. We're expected to get a lot more information for the 5 p.m. and we're going to hear from some of those individuals who heard this happen, who witnessed this happen, coming up at 5. Back to you.
Absolutely terrifying. Thank you, Bayan. We'll continue to follow up. And it was another frigid day today, but the cold snap will be coming to an end. Meteorologist Stacey Donaldson joining us now. Stacey, we're in for a very gradual warm-up over the next few days.
Gradual, the very key word with this. It's going to be very cold tonight. Our wind chill factor is well below 0, and we have cloudy skies with snow that's going to be showing up throughout tonight. So we're not quite done with the snowfall. Our temperatures at this point, 10 degrees downtown. We also have 12 at DIA and single digits from Arvada out toward Golden, 3 for Evergreen right now, and our wind chill factor about 5 below 0 from DIA to Broomfield, 6 below is what it feels like in Greeley. Now, as we go through the rest of tonight, very cold temperatures, and we'll see that energy from the west come up across the Front Range, so we're expecting more light snow tonight into early tomorrow morning. Snow in the high country as well. We have winter storm warnings in effect all throughout western Colorado through tonight and tomorrow morning. We're expecting a few more inches of snow. We could see another 6 to 10 down through southwestern Colorado. So a lot going on here still across the state, even though we're seeing a little lull at this point here for Metro Denver. We'll talk more about what we expect snowfall wise coming up in a few.
Thank you, Stacey. Invasion into Ukraine is about to happen. A senior defense official tells ABC News that Russia has about 80% of its forces in forward positions ready to go. In response, Ukraine declared a state of emergency, calling up thousands of reserve troops. The country is still holding on to hope for a diplomatic solution. Their foreign minister telling the United Nations that strong action can force Russia to drop their potential plans.
It is clear that President Putin will not stop by himself.
This is President Putin's war of choice. If he chooses to escalate further, Russia and Russia alone will bear full responsibility for what is to come.
President Biden announced new sanctions today against the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. The State Department says Russia's $11 billion investment is now useless, a useless hunk of steel sitting at the bottom of the sea.
Escalating tensions and economic sanctions against Russia are likely to hit Americans' wallets even more than they already have.
It's not impossible that Russia could retaliate by curbing oil exports. If they sense their economy going down, they may want to take the global economy with it.
The Ukraine and Russia uncertainty has been driving up oil prices for months already. If Russia decides to stop contributing to the global supply, that would cause prices to go up even more. That's according to Gas Buddy's expert. Russia is one of the world's top oil producers. All the geopolitical tension is on top of higher consumer demand, and U.S. oil companies still operating below capacity.
And it's just that we're trying to catch up, and things will eventually start to normalize as Americans get out. That pent-up demand will slowly start to decline, and over time, oil companies will slowly raise production, and then they'll finally meet in the middle.
For now, Patrick DeHaan doesn't expect Americans to change driving habits much. Maybe at $5 a gallon that would happen, which is already the case in a growing number of California cities. But he says that we could see even more economic impact before then.
Jet fuel is going up, which means airlines are probably going to have to raise fares. Anything that's transported via truck, whether it's lumber to Home Depot or groceries to your nearest grocery store, all of those prices are being enhanced by the high price of diesel, heating oil, anyone who uses propane this summer. All of these products that are born out of a barrel of crude oil are going to go up. Anything plastics related, there are certainly a lot of ripple effects in the economy.
Well, drivers on 96th Avenue through Commerce City are growing frustrated with careless and aggressive drivers. Several videos highlight the problem. One shows a driver crossing over a double yellow to pass and then braking hard after illegally passing. Another shows a driver passing on the right, which is a turn lane only. Those who live nearby say Commerce City recently raised the speed limit from 30 miles per hour to 40. And that's only led to people driving even faster.
People getting impatient and speeding and swerving into the oncoming traffic to get around people. And I mean, it's just kind of scary thinking about, like, okay, what if someone's coming, because there are hills over there and you can't necessarily see over the hills.
Especially semis late at night. They don't want to obey the speed limit. Around here, not many cops out here with the traffic stops to pull them over.
Colorado State Patrol says it has contacted the registered vehicle owners in these incidents, but it can't issue citations because the drivers aren't identifiable. Commerce City Police say they're looking into the complaints.
The National Guard is deploying to Washington, D.C. with trucker convoys planning protests there. The troops are said to be there more for presence and to support traffic control during demonstrations. This convoy is planning peaceful protests of pandemic-related restrictions starting next week. It is similar to what's happened in Canada recently that shut down a busy border crossing. The D.C. protest timing coincides with the President's State of the Union address that is set for March 1st. Federal grants are now available for backed-up U.S. ports. The first batch is nearly $450 million under the new infrastructure law. The grants will go to projects specifically aimed at reducing congestion at ports that has slowed down the flow of products to stores. Now, don't expect immediate relief. Ports have until May to apply, and some of that money will go into upgrades, which do take time. Starting a business is becoming more accessible to a growing number of women, the things that are helping them find success.
And big lines today for a new burger restaurant. And no, this one's not In-N-Out. We're taking you to the brand new Whataburger in Colorado Springs next.